Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do some more baritone guitar hunting, and guess what? There's some Silverburst ones out there that I've yet to talk about, and I want to talk about it. Let's get into it. So what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube. Happy Sunday, September 12th, if you're catching this at a live date. And if not, I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the time-space continuum. I just hope you're doing well, man. But yeah, dude, today's video, we're going to be going on Reverb and going to be scouring the internet for some baritones that I have my eyes on and ones that I discovered this week that I want to share with you all. So first thing I want to check out real quick is something I always have my fingers on the pulse of, if that makes any sense. I have my eyes on, that's a better analogy, jeez, Ray, is the Squire Baritones. I play two Squire Baritones when I play live with Luna Mortar. We're down at drop F, 30-inch scale, yada, yada, yada. So these baritones, the Squire Baritones, are so hard to come by, man, and they're so expensive. I mean, it's a shame, and Squire should really, in my opinion, reissue these baritone jazz masters. Anyway, they have some new ones out right now, like the Cabranita ones that are 27 inches. But the ones that I like to play are the 30 inches one. Now this one's kind of cool. Kind of looks like the one that I play with a switched out pick guard. And looks like the knobs are switched out as well. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like the silver knobs better personally. But let's see when this one was made. 2014. Oh, it's in Orland, PA. It's not too far from me. But yeah, man, these things sold, give or take, for like $450, $500 from like 2014 to 2016. And they've been discontinued for such a long time now, going on 6 years, right? And ever since Loathe came around, yeah, these things exploded off the, off the used market. And it's kind of a shame, man, because, I really enjoy these things, and I just wish that they were available, for purchase in the present day. I mean, here's a modern Squire Baritone that they have that's 27 inches, and you could certainly kind of get it down to F, but one thing that I've never made apparent and why I'm really not into 27 inches is this right here. This is like the vintage style tuners, and you have to wrap these a ton to get the F tension, right? Especially, if you only have 27 inches, you got to use like an 80 gauge string, for example. And now I have locking tuners on my other baritone. One second. I've never shown this. This is my live guitar. All right, this is the Luna Muerta guitar. And, this is the vintage style tuners, right? And these are locking that are aftermarket. I found these on Amazon. But what's interesting is the low F string doesn't fit in the peg, and you have to wind it an insane amount of times, which isn't the end of the world. You just have to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more precise. Anyway, with 27 inches, you got to wind it that much more to get it, the tension of the low F. So it's just like, man, it kind of just it worries me that if I got one of these, 27-inch baritones, that I wouldn't be able to do what I like to do. So that's why, another reason why I always like to try to shoot for the 30 inches, or at least the 28, 29 range. I never talked about that, so hope that clears that up. Speaking of new guitars in drop F, it's not a new guitar, but I've got this Kiesel Hyperdrive in drop F. And it's a 7-string, but this one does it pretty well. And this has an 80 gauge string. This has an 8-string set on it. We got some shows coming up here in October and November. I might bust that thing out and see what that does live. Anyway, back to the hunting. These things are so insanely expensive, man. $1,500 right here. This guitar originally started out $450, $500. My God, man. Now, this does have a case, but is that much of a premium? I mean, maybe to somebody, not to me personally. Just a bummer, man. It's a kind of a weird picture too. But anyway, man, just these things are so expensive. It's such a frustrating thing for somebody who loves this guitar and wants to play them. This one's a local pickup, and it's only $1,000. This is on the cheaper side. It's in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from me, if I remember. Maybe I'm off on that, but yeah, $1,000. That's even way more than I paid for mine, last year. But it's just dude, such a bummer. Another guitar that I've had my eyes on, but again, Loathe kind of ruined it for me, is these Gretsch Baritones. These are 29 3/4 inches. Now, this is a pretty guitar, man. Look at that. It's a purplish, pinkish metallic. That's awesome, dude. I love that, man. I've said it a million times. I love when guitars aren't metal. I love that. It's just a cool aesthetic, a cool vibe. Match that with the block inlays. Look at that, man. That's a gorgeous guitar right there. But again, I'm personally trying to do my best to not delve into the whole loathe side of things, because when I first got my baritone, everybody's like, oh, you know, you're doing the loathe thing, and you know, I'm certainly, you know, I love that band, but I'm certainly trying to do my own thing. And over time, I think my riffs, you know, make me stand out from everybody else. But, you know, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to play something, or I'm always thinking of playing something that's a little bit more unique than anybody else. So, you know, just giving you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm going for here. I wasn't planning on talking about this thing, but it caught my attention. I've never seen this yet. A Nev-born baritone. I thought it was a line 6 baritone. Look at that. 28-inch scale. Who's Nev-born? I don't know, but that looks awesome. Damn. I like this one better. Yeah, that's badass, dude. My goodness. Those are cool guitars, but also $3,400. A lot of money. But now let's cut right to the chase. Let's talk about the guitar that's in the thumbnail, the title of this video, right? And that is Revolta. Now, I don't know if I talked about Revolta, but they have a 28-inch scale baritone out there. And here's, you know, the ones that I've seen, and I think the ones that we've all seen up until this week. But if you scroll down, I saw this, and I was just like, oh my god. This is crazy, man. This guitar company out in the UK, apparently called Peach Guitars or something like that, has like about a dozen, or like 15, give or take, something like that, in stock, man. Yeah, this, very cool. I love this so much. Yeah, Peach Guitars out in Colchester, UK. Could get to my door, my house, for about $1,800. I love this thing, man. I really like the black and the gold one, but this one is obviously my favorite now because you guys have known me forever. I've said it forever that Silverburst is my favorite finish. Now it's in a 28-inch scale baritone with the sickest block inlays you will ever see, mind you. Doesn't get any bigger than that, you know what I mean? Like, that is so cool. I love that. The only drawback is the vintage style tuners again. It's just, it's not necessarily a drawback, it's just when they're the smaller size tuners for me, it's harder to find replacements. And, you know, not the end of the world, but it is just something that I keep my eye out for, you know what I mean? But like these pictures right here, like this one and this one, like, the white binding, the P90 and the neck. Now this is a P90, not a Jazzmaster pickup. But yeah, just, oh man, it's so cool, man. I believe there's binding on the back too. Let me find a picture of it. Yeah, binding on the back. Peach Guitars, you're killing me. What's interesting is the weight. This is pretty light. Now I'm assuming this is chambered. I forget, I have looked at the specs and I do believe it's chambered if I'm not mistaken. Revolta guitars are the latest project from esteemed luthier and guitar designer Dennis Fano. For over 20 years, Dennis has been designing and building some of the coolest guitars around. Firstly with Fano, then Novo, and now Revolta. Alright, cool. Little story about the cat. Yeah man, this is sick, dude. 28-inch scale, 12-inch fretboard radius, optimal string tension. This baritone is tight and controlled, offering a real cool alternative take on guitar. I agree. This is cool. It's got a stop tailpiece, Les Paul style. This is sick, man. Very, very expensive. One of the more expensive baritones out there. But again, it kind of looks badass. You know what I mean? So as of right now, in terms of a production baritone, this is certainly the one that's #1 on my list. For all the reasons I've been harping on for this video, it's unique. I've never seen anyone play one. It's got block inlays, Silverburst, stop tailpiece, yada yada yada. This is a very cool guitar, man. Very expensive, but it's cool. So everybody, that's going to conclude this episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking guitars with me. I appreciate it. What do you guys think of all my opinions and all the guitars that I showed you guys? Leave all your thoughts down below, and we'll mix it up down below in the comments. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me and being so kind to me. If you're brand new to the channel, you want to consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.